In today's video, I want to take you guys through some free stuff you can get on PSN right now. Obviously, we are celebrating Last of Us with Last of Us Day, and they are commemorating by giving away some free stuff in the form of themes and avatar. We'll go through that in just a little bit. Also, speaking of free, a free-to-play title will be coming to PlayStation VR early next month in Mortal Blitz Combat Arena. That's a pretty cool looking title, and again, it is free-to-play. You can play it with your VR headset, or you could play it with the VR headset and the gun controller, but you will need the VR headset. So bear that in mind. Konami is making a new game. How about that? It's not of one of their IPs that they are famous for, but they are making a brand new action RPG for consoles. It is a top-down action RPG for mobiles as well, but we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. And then Earth Defense Force 6 has gotten some gameplay. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, as far as free stuff on the PlayStation Store right now, you can get the Last of Us Part 2 Beach theme, which dropped yesterday. This is a pretty cool-looking dynamic theme, so check that out. Very serene, so to speak, even if you're not a big fan of The Last of Us Part 2. I really dig the background that offers. Outside of that, they're also offering some more avatars and themes until September 28th. You've got a bunch of character avatars. You've got a Last of Us Part 2 Ellie theme. You've got a Last of Us Part 2 Stop Sign theme. You've got the Last of Us Part 2 Grunge theme, which that one looks cool. You've got the Last of Us Part 2 Burning theme. I really dug that one as well. So you can add all that to your cart, and that'll be all yours for free. So might as well add it to your library. You got nothing to lose. Even if you're not the biggest fan of The Last of Us Part 2, some of these themes look pretty cool, and hey, I know a lot of people that also really like the game, so I have my opinion. Everybody is entitled to theirs, but yeah, I felt I had to make that aware to you guys that you can get those free themes and avatars. Alright, moving on from that, Mortal Blitz Combat Arena is a brand new PlayStation VR free-to-play title, and coming from Skonig Entertainment, they noted, "We're thrilled to finally release Mortal Blitz Combat Arena on PlayStation VR October 8th. Thanks to your feedback on the open beta that we held in August, we were able to make lots of improvements to the final product. Mortal Blitz was one of the PlayStation VR's top downloads when it originally launched in April of 2017. Now we have created an online free-to-play PvP version that exists in the same universe as the original. It's a free-to-play PvP experience, various weapons and fast dynamic battles for free. You can experience these real-time battles in quick match mode, PvP, with up to 4 players, or hop into mission mode, that's PvE. For some single-player action, PlayStation Plus users will get special access to arena packs, which include costumes and items. PSVR aim controller and DualShock 4 supported, so you can use the aim controller or your traditional DualShock 4 controller. You've got PvP, PvE, battle, strategic maps. Whether playing in quick match or mission, a PvE story mode playable after the purchase of the standard edition, players will employ different strategies and tactics to overcome tense battles across different maps, use height and surrounding terrain to your advantage, and avoid enemy fire and attack from behind when possible. You've also got a plethora of unique weapons that you can use. You can use machine guns, miniguns, railguns. You've got launchers, shotguns, and everything in between, and obviously all of them will implement a little bit of a different playstyle. Customized items and Season 1 will be kicking off. The Combat Arena runs on a seasonal basis and will be also updated within the season. Experience more PvP maps, various weapons, and even new modes. So that will be dropping October 8th for those of you guys that have a VR headset. I've been, touting how much better VR has gone from a library standpoint, and that's really what it comes down to for VR at this point. Obviously, it would be better if we had a VR headset that was wireless for PlayStation 4 and it was easier to set up and didn't require, a little bit of the clutter that a VR headset is naturally going to cause at this stage of the game, and I'm sure that'll happen at some point in the future. But for now, if you want to jump into VR, know that there is a solid lineup of games that are available, and it's definitely worth it if we're talking about it from a fundamental what are the games standpoint. There are high quality games, although I do suspect that Sony at some point is going to release an upgraded PSVR headset during the life cycle of the PlayStation 5, so you should assess that as well, but I don't imagine that's going to happen in the next few years. So there you have it with that. Again, the game will be dropping October 8th. Alright, moving on from that, Konami announces Edens Zero, third-person action RPG for console. There will also be a mobile version of the game that'll be a top-down action RPG, plus a new anime visual and character boards. Konami has announced 2 Edens Zero games, a third-person action RPG for console, and a top-down action RPG for mobile. Specific platforms and release dates were not announced. The look of each game, we got some images, and it looks pretty good. I mean, doesn't look anything blow away, but as far as a Japanese action RPG, looks completely serviceable. We'll see how the game ultimately does turn out. The top-down version, obviously, that's more akin to what a mobile game should be, but the console version of the game, I'm not going to say it looks like a big budget RPG, but it looks something to the effect of a scale game of like Tokyo Xanadu or something like that, so that's definitely not a bad thing. We also have some original game costume designs by Hiro Mashima, and you know, the game definitely has a unique look. It's definitely Japanese, so if you like your Japanese presentation style, that'll definitely be up your alley. These characters look very reminiscent. The one character looks exactly like a character from Fairy Tail. I'm not a big Fairy Tail fan, but yeah, I've seen the Fairy Tail artwork, and yeah, the character looks very, very reminiscent. Whatever the case may be, that will be out in April of 2021, I believe. April 2021 is the anime, so we'll see when the game actually comes out. So they're going all in with this IP, creating 2 games and an anime. Obviously, they think that's gonna resonate to an extent, and literally as I am recording this video, I have come to the realization that Hiro Mashima is in fact the writer and author of Fairy Tail. So yes, the resemblance definitely makes sense here, and even in one of the key visual animations that they've put on, you can see a Fairy Tail logo in the bottom left corner. So interesting that, yeah, I picked up on that right away. Okay, kudos to me for not being the biggest Fairy Tail fan and noticing that. So yeah, the resemblance was just uncanny there. So that definitely makes sense where that's coming from. Lastly, I do want to note that Earth Defense Force 6 10 minutes of gameplay has dropped. First look at the 2021 sequel, Earth Defense Force 6 definitely takes more of a realistic tone for Earth Defense Force. That's been a commonality in Earth Defense Force recently, but it's looking pretty solid. This dropped at the Tokyo Game Show 2020 online livestream. The game was demonstrated using a PlayStation 4 controller, and platforms have yet to be announced for EDF 6. I would imagine it's going to be a PS4, PS5 cross-gen title. You know, this is a Japanese game, and usually for Japanese games it takes a little bit longer outside of the Square Enix games for them to fully commit to only making next generation titles, so that's something that you just have to expect. Even with the current devs, I mean, you look at the Ubisofts, the WB Games of the world, Harry Potter, I believe, is a cross-gen title. The majority of big games that have been announced are cross-gen titles. Look, people do not want to give up the fact that there's 150 million people or so that have an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, and when it comes to the PlayStation 5 and series, you're gonna have how many people? Maybe 30 million at most by the spring. That's putting it pretty lightly. Maybe 35 million at most, but that's nowhere near, you know, 150 million people that already have the current gen console, so you do have to bear that in mind. It's probably more than 150 million. It's probably closer to like 170 million, so yeah, assess that for a second. Might also be on Switch. We'll see how that all shakes out, but check out the gameplay if you are interested. That's gonna conclude this video. Check out those free themes and avatars you can get for The Last of Us Part 2, Mortal Blitz, a brand new free-to-play game coming to PSVR. Konami is doing a brand new game, Edens Zero. Easy to see why they are all inning on it, given that the author is Hiro Mashima, and, you know, there's reason to all in on an IP like this, although, you know, I believe the Naruto author, Masashi Kishimoto, I believe his name is. Guys, I've been a little bit out of the anime scene for a little while. He started a brand new manga recently, Hachimaruden Samurai 8, and people just panned that, so yeah, we'll see how that turns out. And EDF 6, 10 minutes of gameplay, that is already dropped. Check that out. That's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.